Today, let's talk about which weapons you should work on ranking up in order to prepare for the Vanguard integration. I can tell you with absolute accuracy that the weapons will not be straight ports from Vanguard to Warzone. And I can prove this by showing you guys the differences in stats of weapons that are both in Vanguard and Warzone at the same time. I did a stat guide on the White Obsidian M1 Garand, and here were its stats. But if we compared the White Obsidian in Vanguard to the Warzone one, pretty much the only similarity they have is the name and the weapon model. The stats are completely different, but this should be expected because they're extremely different games. And yeah, this means all the attachments are different too, so we can't even really know what attachments are going to be the best. But what we can do is use past trends to make a very good prediction. And thankfully, when we do look at these blueprints that are available in both games, even though they do perform differently, they are performing towards the same goal. And you can tell that they are trying to do the same thing, although the results are different in the end. In the past year, we've seen trends with assault rifles usually being at the top of the meta. LMGs, tactical rifles, marksman rifles, whatever, have come in every so often, but they're usually overpowered and they get nerfed. SMGs and sniper rifles are usually in the meta as well, but they're more specialized. SMGs for close quarters, and sniper rifles for extremely long range, or for quick scoping. But because many of our assault rifles have very low recoil and pretty good TTKs, it's not always the best thing to be sniping. So with all of this in mind, let's take a look at the weapons and try to figure out which ones are gonna be the meta. Starting with assault rifles, we have the STG-44, and I can tell you, this is gonna be a great weapon because it is already pretty much just an AK-47 from Cold War. It's gonna be extremely versatile, and you'll pretty much be able to do everything you can with the Cold War AK, but probably even better. Next up is the Automaton. This is going to be your low recoil, low damage weapon. Something similar to the Krig probably. It could also be closer to the Grau or closer to the Kilo from Modern Warfare. So if you want that extremely long range weapon, this is probably going to be it. And if that suits your playstyle, start leveling this one up. Now for the bar. If you like the EM2 or the C58, this is probably going to be it. And this is what I'm going to start leveling up. Magazine size may initially be an issue, but since we only use a 40 round mag on the EM2, I think it's going to be doing just fine. As a bonus, the NZ41 could be an interesting addition. A lot of the Cold War weapons right now start off with recoil and actually just end up with zero recoil after some sustained fire. This could be the opposite, where it starts with basically no recoil and then just starts getting more and more recoil. Depending on how many shots you can fire before the recoil starts getting too crazy, this may be a go-to long-range weapon, if you're accurate. For the first SMG, we have the MP40. While it won't be killing as fast as something like the OTS-9, it'll probably have more range and it'll be slightly more versatile. Now the Thompson kinda scares me because it should have the fastest TTK out of all these SMGs, but it also has large magazine capacities. So will it be killing as fast as the OTS with an insanely large drum mag? I have no idea, but if that does happen, I really hope that they just make its mobility really bad. The Type 100 is probably going to be your go-to sniper support weapon. However, remember that the Milano took a while to become a good sniper support weapon because its damage was way too low at first. And then there's weapons like the Striker 45 where, while they have basically no recoil, it's not worth using because its damage is way too low. I'd expect the Owen to take that slow fire rate, low recoil role, but the Type 100 may also be getting the same treatment. But if you're tired of using the PPSH and other good sniper support weapons, then you can start ranking up the Type 100 and see how it goes. And then there's the PPSH. This one's described as fast firing that eliminates close range threats quickly, and ours is a sniper support weapon. But this one says that it can eliminate targets at close range quickly, with the same 71 drum mag. This, along with the Thompson, worry me. Could these end up getting a TTK as fast as the OTS? Who knows? But if you're extremely aggressive, it probably would be a good idea to level one of these two up. Now for LMGs. The MG42 is probably gonna be pretty good. The MG34 had a pretty great TTK when Warzone first came out, although it had bad accuracy. And the MG82 has always been a really great weapon. So I expect it to do pretty great with an extremely great TTK, although it might not be as accurate as the MG82. Then there's the DP27. I kind of expect this one to be a pretty versatile LMG. You probably will be able to kit it out like an AR, but you can also kit it out for long range. I am very curious and very interested to seeing how this one performs, and this is probably going to be the LMG that I'll be leveling up. Then there's the Bren. It could be good like the PKM or the pre-nerf Stoner, but if they go too crazy with its recoil, it's probably not going to be that good. Or if its damage isn't that good enough, it could be useless like the M60. Then for Marksman Rifles. These are going to be put in the tactical rifle category, but pretty much any of these are going to be decent. For my testing with the M1 Garand, these are going to be acting pretty much just like the other semi-auto tactical rifles that we currently have. So if you like using those, any of these will probably be good. Now the sniper rifles are going to be a tricky thing because, as we know, sniper rifles in Warzone are treated a bit differently. The Type 99 is probably going to be the quick scoping rifle. However, is it going to be behaving like the Swiss or the Pellington? If you want to try out a new quick scoping rifle, then just level up the Type 99 and see how it performs once the integration comes out. The 3 line is supposed to be a heavy bolt action rifle, so this could perform something like the Tundra or the ZRG. But once again, these two weapons are extremely different, and the Tundra does not perform that well. But the ZRG is one of the best weapons, so we can't really tell until the integration comes out. But if you like to snipe at extremely long ranges, this weapon may be for you. In the pistols category, we have the machine pistol, and it's a full auto pistol with a low ammo capacity. And while the low ammo capacity may seem like a problem, we've had other weapons in the past that once they come into Warzone, their magazine sizes do increase. And right now, we run the amp even though it has a technically low ammo capacity because it is just great with its TTK and it still has a fast reload time. So I expect the machine pistol to be in this similar category. Although its TTK is probably going to be even better, so this may be a go-to secondary. If you're wondering why I didn't mention any shotguns, pretty much it's because they don't have suppressors. And as good as shotguns are, especially the semi-auto ones, it's probably not worth running one without a suppressor. As for why I didn't mention in some of the other weapons, they just didn't really stand out that much, at least in a Warzone sense. I've done a lot of testing in private matches. That's what I've been doing lately, just trying to figure out what's going to be good in Warzone and what is just going to be good in Vanguard. But even though I'm increasing health to 250 in these private matches, it's not going to be the same as in Warzone because the stats aren't the same. But despite me testing a lot, I can't test absolutely everything. So if there's anything you feel like I missed, please let me know in the comments. And especially since we can change the way that weapons behave using weapons, magazines, and ammo types, it's gonna be quite interesting what we can come up with. So if I had to give you my top 3 weapons to rank up, it would be the STG, the MP40, and the machine pistol. While I'd love to include things like the Type 99 or the DB27, I'm just way too unsure about them. They could go any way. But you know, when the integration happens, I will be there getting the stats of fully built weapons and figuring out which ones are the best, and how much better or worse they are compared to the other weapons that we already have. But as always, if there's any weapon, build, or part of the game you want to break down, let me know. You may see it on the next Community Wednesday. But that's the video. If you enjoyed it or if it's helped you in any way, let me know by leaving a like. If you got any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section down below. And if you want to make sure that you never miss another video, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.